Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace, and I'm sure you are able to listen to me. You can hear me very well. Today's session is not exactly the editorial from the Hindu, but a different article by T.M. Krishna. He's a music composer and an author. So I've taken the article from the Hindu, and it is by T.M. Krishna as it's written over here. He's a renowned music composer and author from Tamil Nadu. So he has written this article. So I've taken the article from the Hindu. So that's what I'm going to discuss today. Let me see if the video is functioning. It's running. Wait. Good evening, Danny Balan, Sriveni E, Dhamodharan. Good evening. Good evening. So I've taken the article from the Hindu. That's what I'm going to do. Let me see if the video is functioning. It's running. Wait. Good evening, Danny Balan, Sriveni E, Dhamodharan. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, students, let's start the session. So it's a tribute to Lata Mangeshkar today. So it's not exactly, as I told you, it's not exactly an editorial, but from the Hindu I've taken a very good article, and I'm going to discuss this article with you all, which will be a tribute to Lata Mangeshkar, a very famous singer from Maharashtra, who has carved a niche for herself and who had carved a niche for herself in the film industry. So let's start the session with a tribute to her. May her soul rest in peace. So let us start the session. So I think there are 14 people online. So we'll start the session with see, what I have done is the name of the article is Her Voice Never Became Old. So what I have done this time is I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, and the article which contained these 5 words. Next, as we move on, I've taken the words, 4 words which are a part of the next segment of the article, Her Voice Never Became Old. So this way I have planned today's session. Initially what happened, I took all the words in one or at one go at the start of the session itself. That made it very boring. So what I have done is, this time I have taken only those words which are a part of the first slide of the PPT. Okay. So let's start the session. So the first word is which we are going to discuss is frailties. Frailties. What's the meaning of the word frailties? I'm not sure why the number of people have left the 6 people have left the chat. I don't know why, but it's all about a discussion, right? So frailties is like weakness or feebleness. Weakness or feebleness. Frail means weak and feeble. So frailties is weakness and feebleness. Next comes soothing. The word is from soothing and soothe. Soothe means alleviated, lessening the pain. So if somebody is soothed, it means he is comforted, he is calmed, he or she is alleviated. Her pain or his pain is alleviated. Soothe. So frailties means, so it has come from the word frail, which means weak and feeble. So frailty means weaknesses and feebleness. Okay. Yes, Samil RC, good evening. Very good evening. Very good evening. The next word is pleading. Pleading means the action of making an emotional or earnest appeal to someone. Pleading. So as we discuss these 5 words, we'll move to the article itself, and those 5 words have been highlighted there. We'll apply those words there. That's the only learning we are going to do today. Clear? So frailties means weaknesses, feebleness. Soothe means alleviated, comforted, calmed. Pleading means the action of making an emotional or earnest. Earnest means sincere. Earnest means sincere appeal to someone. Cut through is a phrasal verb. Cut through means go through or across something, especially so as to shorten one's route. Go through or across something, especially so as to shorten one's route. And next word is seguous. Seguous means what? Move without interruption. This is a verb. Seguous is a verb. Move without interruption from one piece of music or scene to another. So we'll learn its application in the very next slide itself. So seguous is a new word for you, I know, entirely different word for you, seguous. It means to move without interruption from one piece of music to or scene to another. Fine. So we'll learn these applications next. So let us go to the passage. So the passage title is a tribute to Lata Mangeshkar. Her voice never became old. This is the title of the article from the Hindu by T.M. Krishna, a music composer and author from South India, that is from Tamil Nadu. So let us read this. We prayed for her immortality. It's a tribute. So the author says that we prayed for her immortality. We wanted her to never to die. Immortal means one who never dies, right? Okay, her voice registered our strengths and frailties. So after listening to her voice, we could relate to it so much so that we felt that our voice is being sung by her. Our voice is being used by her. So her voice registered our strengths and frailties. So frailties means weaknesses. Strengths, strengths, what's the meaning of strength? So the meaning of this entire line is registered our strengths and frailties. Registered here means the word registered over here means established a relation between the listener and the singer. Okay. She soothed us. Soothe means what? Comforted us. She soothed us when everything was lost, and her pleading for unity cut through a sharply divided society. So she comforted us when everything was lost, and her pleading means requesting, earnest request for unity. There's a song in the Hindi song which requires the unity of everyone together. So pleading for unity cut through means went through or went across a sharply divided society. Means it's ran through the entirely divided society. That's the meaning of it. Each one of us created an unbreakable personal bond with her. So wonderful lines she has written, T.M. Krishna has written. Each of one has created an unbreakable personal bond with her. We often associate, see, often is used how it is used. It's an adverb of frequency. Often is an adverb of frequency. It is always placed between the subject and the main verb. So we cannot say we associate often playback singers. So it is like we often associate playback singers with specific actors. This is a very wonderful correlation that the author has established. He says we often associate playback singers with specific actors. So we assume that Kamal Haasan will be singing the songs of, for example, S.P. Balasubramaniam. So we associate playback singers with specific actors. The singer becomes the musical expression. The singer becomes the musical expression. So the music is expressed by the singer, an extension of the actor. So what is the extension of the actor? The musical expression and the singer himself. An extension of whom the actor's extension is the singer. This is so well established that when an actor completes a dialogue and the scene segues means moves from the scene to a song. Segues means what? Moving from a scene to a song, or a song to another song, or a scene to another scene. Okay. So this is so well established that when an actor completes a dialogue and the scene segues into a song, we do notice a difference. The voice merges. The voices merge. Lata Mangeshkar's voice did not belong to any one actor. She was every actor's voice. So this is wonderful rendition by T.M. Krishna. He has said that what we have learned in this passage is Lata Mangeshkar's voice was not related to only one actor. She was every actor's voice. So what happens is when actor completes a dialogue and the scene sequence moves into a song, we do not notice a difference because it merges. The voices merge. The singer's voice, the dialogues of the author, and the singer's voice, they both merge. But Lata Mangeshkar was such an artist that her voice did not belong to any one actor. She was every actor's voice. She has also sung many Tamil songs. If you could go to Google and search, she has sung wonderfully and her accent has been appreciated by everyone, right? Okay. Let us move to the next segment. So we have 4 words here, mediated. So what words did we learn? We learned a word called frailties, which means weaknesses. Soothe means comforted. Pleading means earnest request. Cut through means go through or go across. Then we have a word called sequence, which means moving from one scene to another scene or moving from one scene to another song effortlessly. Fine, sequence. She is a well-talented singer. She is capable of singing any other actor voice. Very good, Damodaran. You are absolutely right. So let's move to the next segment of the passage. So her voice never became old. This is the title of the passage by T.M. Krishna. You can go through the passage if you get time. So mediated. Mediation means what? Intervene in a dispute in order to bring about an agreement or reconciliation. So this is reconciliation. Those who are commerce students, they understand bank reconciliation statement. So what is reconciliation? Means matching or finding similarities. So that is reconciliation. So intervene. So mediated means to intervene in a dispute in order to bring about an agreement or reconciliation. Illusionary. Illusionary means based on illusion or not real. Mannerisms means a habitual gesture. Gesture means what? Any act by a human being is a gesture, or for animals for that matter. So mannerisms mean a habitual gesture or a way of speaking or behaving. So gesticulation. There is a new word from gesture you can learn, which is gesticulation. Gesticulation. What's the meaning of gesticulation? Acting in certain ways so that to communicate to others, communicate with others. Like, hi, how are you? Well done. This is gesticulation, right? So part of non-verbal communication. So mannerisms means a habitual gesture or a way of speaking or behaving. Habitual means which is in habit. Okay. Next word comes in accent. Accent has a synonym like intonation. Intonation or pronunciation. An intonation or pronunciation. So I think you have got these four words. These four words you have understood. So let us move ahead and see the passage. Her voice never became old. This is the next part of the passage. It would be appropriate to say her voice was theirs. So when in the last line of the passage, earlier passage, we understood that she was every actor's voice. So it would be appropriate to say her voice was theirs. She did not hide her presence behind the actors. She did not hide her presence. Means she was very much conspicuous. The new word for you, conspicuous. I'll write the word here. Conspicuous means noticeable. Conspicuous. Conspicuous means noticeable. 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 So she did not hide her presence behind the actors. Means the actors did not represent Lata Mangeshkar, but Lata Mangeshkar represented them. So you always knew it was her. You always knew whichever actor was acting, she was singing the song of Lata Mangeshkar. The actor became Lata's expressive moving picture. Very good, very right, nicely. This author has written very wonderful, plain English with a lot of wonderful uses and a bit of literature touch to it. Till now we have done economy based passage, budget based passages, agriculture based passages, but now what we are doing is a literature based passage, quite related to art and literature. Okay. The author says the actor became Lata's expressive moving picture. So Lata's expression was a moving picture of the actor. Okay. Yet her personality never mediated our relationship with the story. Her personality did not try to reconcile or establish an agreement with the story, with our relationship with the story. Her voice was eternal with a different level of, we say Vera level. I've learned this word when I came to Tamil Nadu. It's like Vera level. So her personality never mediated our relationship with the story. She had a different personality. It was as if her voice worked for anyone, any situation and any era. Okay. So this should be anyone. So it was as if her voice worked for anyone, any situation and any era. Hence, there was no need for that illusionary trick. So what is the illusionary trick over here? What is the illusionary trick? The illusionary trick is mediating the relationship of the story with the audience. So there was no need for that illusionary trick. This seems contradictory. We'll understand this passage. It's quite complicated over here. This seems contradictory, even impossible, but it did happen. So she had a different personality. She did not try to reconcile the audience and the movie, the story. So it seems contradictory. Whether she is the singer and still she is not trying to establish a bond between the audience and the story. Even, but it did happen. We speak of playback singers being influenced by the voice. We speak of playback singers being influenced by the voice, mannerisms and accent of actors they represented. So this is what happened with, this is a contradictory statement. So what happened, I'll give you an example. Suppose there's an actor called Vijay, and he sings the song by Hariharan. For example, if I take, as per my knowledge of the film industry. So this way, not real, right, Dharmodaran. So this is called, illusionary means not real. So this is something like the playback singer was influenced by the actor's voice and other actors' mannerisms. But this did not happen with Lata Mangeshkar. She had her own voice, she had her own level of singing. She never tried to mediate between the audience and the relationship of the audience with the story. She has her own voice, which was fit for any situation, any era, anyone, any singer, any actor. Okay. So mannerisms and accent of the actors they represented. So she was not influenced by the voice, mannerisms and accent of the actors they represented. Okay. So we have learned a new word, conspicuous, which means, conspicuous means noticeable. So we have learned these words. Mediated means reconciliation, illusionary means not real, mannerisms means gesticulation, gestures, and accent means intonation and pronunciation. Clear? Okay. So let's move to the next set of words. The next set of words, we have 6 words now. So 5 plus 4 plus 6. 15 words we have learned till now. So let's learn the 15 words. Rendered, it's a very good word. So these words uses will be in the next paragraph. These words will be used in the next paragraph, which is about to come. So rendered means, it's a difficult word. Rendered means to cause someone or something to be in a specified condition. So he rendered me poor. Please understand this. He rendered me rich. He rendered me poor of attainments. Means he stole all my attainments. He caused me to be in a specified condition. I'll give you one more example. People have rendered education useless. People now feel that education is useless. We have to revolutionize the entire education system. So this way, even because of the COVID thing, you see, the schools have been rendered useless. The schools have been rendered useless. It means they have been caused to be in a specified condition, which is the useless condition. You are getting my point? Pronunciation, Dhamodharani, exactly. So I would like everybody to participate. When I ask some question, I'll ask some questions definitely. So next word is coaxed. Coaxed. Coaxed means what? To influence or gently urge by caressing or flattering. So if I'm trying to coax you, I'll flatter you, I'll appreciate you a lot. For example, if I appreciate Mr. X and say, okay, you are great, you are wonderful, you have such a great sense of humor. So I'm trying to coax him so that he gets influenced and performs certain tasks which are important for me, or supports me, or helps me in certain problems. So that is coaxing. Coaxing means what? To influence or gently urge by caressing or flattering. Okay. So caressing means like caress the hair like this. Flattering means doing a lot of psycho fancy, a lot of appreciation, fake appreciation. That's called flattering. Okay. Next, emotivity. All these are coming in the next paragraph. Please understand this. Emotivity means of or relating to the emotions. So related to anything related to emotion is emotivity. So it's a noun. Okay, I've not told you the parts of speech now. Okay, at the last I'll tell you all the parts of speech. Just remind me that I have to tell the parts of speech. Which word is which word, what parts of speech, okay. I'll start from this set of words, but what are left behind, I'll do all those things as well, okay. So emotivity means relating to the emotions. So the emotivity of the actor impressed everyone. The emotivity of the actor impressed everyone means his acting and his emotions impressed everyone. Next word is esoteric. Esoteric means what? Hard to understand. Hard to understand or understood by a few people, some people, not everyone. So there are certain concepts of mathematics like differential equation, or probability. Not everybody understands probability easily. Although I was good at probability when I was in school, so but it was esoteric for some students, probability or permutation and combination. It was esoteric for some students. So esoteric means hard to understand or understood by a very few people, very few crowd. So that's not esoteric. Next word comes internalize. It's a verb. Internalize is a verb. Esoteric is an adjective. Emotivity is a noun. Coaxed is a verb. Rendered is a verb. Okay. So internalize means to give a subjective character to something. Subjective character means what? Describing something. If I internalize the rules of algebra, I will prove them. For example, if I say x square dx square by dx. So this is a function. If you understand mathematics a bit, fx is like x square. So if I say d or y is equal to, so dy by dx, I'm just using this term, so it will be 2x. This is the answer, right? So this is just the formula, applying the formula, but the entire derivation of it is giving the subjective character to something. So I'm trying to internalize calculus. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm trying to internalize. So this is called giving subjective character to something. Subjective means description, narrative character. Okay. The next word, I'll just delete this. Wait. It's not required for you all. Many maybe from arts background or I hope you understand. People from this zone actually are very good in mathematics. I'm sure, from Chennai at least. Very good in mathematics. So I was also a good student in mathematics, trust me. But I loved English as a literature a lot. So that helped me a lot. Okay. So fine. So emotionality. So difference between emotivity and emotionality. The quality or state of being emotional. Something related to emotion is emotivity, and emotionality is the quality or state of being emotional. Okay, fine. The quality or state of being emotional. Well, let's move ahead and apply. Well, we will revise. Rendered means to cause to be in a specified condition. Coaxed means to influence or gently urge by caressing or flattering. Emotivity means relating to emotions. Esoteric means hard to understand. Internalize, to give a subjective character to something. Emotionality means the quality or state of being emotional. So this is emotionality is a noun. Internalize is a verb. Esoteric is an adjective. Emotivity is a noun. Coaxed is a verb. Rendered is a verb. Okay. So next, her voice never became old. In Lata's case, I would argue that every actor's acting improved when they heard her track being played for a song they were filming. Okay, before I proceed, I would give a wonderful news to you. Wonderful news in the sense that in the next class, that is tomorrow, I will take an editorial from the Hindu, and in the entire passage I will fill 10 errors. In the entire passage I will fill 10 errors. You have to, while reading, you have to find what are the common errors. You have to spot the errors and tell me in the class itself what are the errors in the passage. That's a new technique I'm trying to evolve, in the sense that applying different methodologies in solving the passage. Sometimes close test, sometimes rearrangement, sometimes whatnot. Error spotting as well. So I've planned all these things. Sometimes interchange of words, so you must be present in the class. All those students who have come here must be present in the class tomorrow, because tomorrow it will entirely be an error spotting class. I'll take an editorial of Hindu, and then I'll put some errors in between. You have to find the errors. Okay. So in Lata's case, I would argue that every actor's acting improved when they heard her track being played for a song they were filming. Her track means Lata's track. Okay. How could it not? Watch any scene of the song she rendered. Rendered means she performed. She performed, and it is as if she coaxed the actors. Coax means trying to flatter or trying to convince them or caress them, that actors to come up to her standards of emotivity. Her standard of emotivity means her standard of emotive expression. Emotive expression. How she expressed her emotions. So she, as if she coaxed the actors to come up to her standards of emotivity. You have understood this, right? In Lata's case, the author argues that every actor's acting improved when they heard her track being played for the song they were filming. How could it not watch any scene of a song she rendered, she performed, and it is as if she coaxed the actors to come up to her standards of emotivity. Okay. Okay, Shivani, thank you. 7 p.m. you said. Dhamodharan, okay, Shivani, thanks. Fine. So, emotion in music. Very nice line. Very nice line. This is literature, pure literature. So, emotion in music is spoken of in esoteric terms. Esoteric means hard to understand terms. Because how can you understand the emotion of music? It's difficult, right? To understand the emotion of music. So, emotion in music is spoken of in esoteric terms, or as something that happens through experience and maturity. So if you have to understand the emotion in music, you need it is an esoteric concept, but it happens through experience and maturity. Otherwise, we are told to internalize the meaning. Internalize means what? Give a subjective character. Give a subjective character. The meaning, understand the context, the melody, and involve ourselves in the singing, and emotionality will be transferred into the song. So what the author says, if we don't have the experience and maturity, we are told to give the subjective character to the meaning and understand the context, the melody, and involve ourselves in the singing, and emotionality will be transferred into the song. Okay, and the emotionality will be transferred into the song. So if I have to sing a song and I want to sing a very sad song, so I will be like sad. I'll be like, if I want to sing a happy song, I'll be like happy. I'll be like very elated. Elated is a good word. Let me tell you this word, elated. So if we are discussing words as well, so elated means happy, extremely happy. There's one more word for this. Euphoric. Elated, euphoric, rapturous. These are 3 words I can give you for extremely happy. Ecstatic. 4 words for you. Elated, euphoric, rapturous, ecstatic. State of being emotional. Very good, Dhamodharan. Okay. So, I've given you 4 words for extreme happiness, like elated, euphoric, rapturous, and one more word is ecstatic. So, this is what? If I'm ecstatic, I'll sing ecstatically. Okay, with ecstasy. Moving ahead to the next set of words. So, we have 7 words. So, this is very good learning for you. So, the first word is rendition. What is the meaning of rendition? Rendition means performance. Rendition means performance or interpretation of something. So, if there is a musical rendition, it means somebody is performing wonderful guitar or music or singing wonderfully. Have you heard about Bob Dylan or Bob Marley for that matter? Bob Dylan, that's my favorite actually, Bob Dylan. So Bob Dylan, when he used to sing, and his lyrics, if you could listen to his lyrics, what he wrote, you will feel ecstatic. So rendition, a performance or interpretation of something, is known as rendition. Okay, rendition. Next word is enunciate. So this is, rendition is what? Rendition is a noun. It's a noun. Enunciate is a verb. To announce or explain clearly with articulation. Articulation means what? Articulation means clearly, with clarity. Articulation is clarity. So enunciate means to announce or explain with clarity, with articulation, or clearly. Clear? So if I say with articulation, it's a noun. Articulation is a noun. Clearly is an adverb. Okay, and with clarity is in what? It's a noun. So, enunciate means to announce or explain clearly. Cadences. Cadence, what is the meaning of cadence? If you have heard about this sinusoidal curve, this kind of curve is there. Sometimes it is low, sometimes it is high, sometimes extremely, not very high, not very low, very high, very low, this way. So, this is known as cadence. Cadence means a regular beat or rhythm with its modulation. It's known as cadence. So if I say the cadence of your voice, it means it is the modulation of your voice, modulation. So cadence means a regular beat or rhythm, or its meaning is modulation as well. Both have the same meaning. No, both are different words a bit, but this is the meaning of cadence. A regular beat or rhythm, dum 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 dum. This is cadence. Or the modulation. For example, if I say So students, how are you? Are you doing wonderful? So this is a modulation of voice. Understood this? This is cadence of my voice actually. If I have to say, on consideration, Dr. Radhakrishnan came to a conclusion. This is a modulation of voice, cadence. Please understand this. Fine. So cadence is a regular beat or rhythm. Or next, cadence is what? Is a noun. It's a noun. Okay. Next comes oozed. Oozed, to pass or flow slowly through or as if through small openings. So oozing, blood is oozing out. So if I have a wound, so blood will ooze out from it. Ooze out means what? It will flow slowly through as if there is some small opening. So if we get wound, blood oozes out, right? Or there is a rupture in a tank. Rupture means hole in a tank. The water oozes out. Understood? Slowly, not very fast. I'm talking about slowly. That's called as oozing. Next is tonality. Tonality is, ooze is what? Ooze is a verb. Oozing. The word is oozing. Oozing. Okay. Tonality means tonal quality. What's the tone of a voice? It's a very so I'm not well aware of the musical terms. If somebody is good at music, let me know what is tone, because he's singing in a very sad tone. That's the happy tone. The tone is a tonal quality, the tonality of something, the tonal quality. The quality of the tone he must or she is singing in, right? Next is timbrel. Timbrel means the quality given to a sound by its overtones. Overtones means what? Resonance, for example, for that matter. Extra tones that come. This is known as timbrel. Comes from the word timber. And next is decibel, the degree of loudness. So we have whoever have studied science, they know there's something called pitch, there's something called tone, there's something called decibel, there's loudness, there's something called frequency. These are the different words for sound. So tonality is a noun. We need not go deep into this. We'll read the passage. Timbrel is like adjective. Decibel is like, I'm not sure because you need to see the application. I'll tell you later on. Okay. So the passage says, we may feel the song in our bones, but our rendition means performance, can still lack the needed emotive layering. Emotive means related to emotions. Layering. Emotional communication in music is a technique. It exists in the way we use our voice. We enunciate means explain clearly. Explain clearly. Each syllable. Syllable means what? Syllable is the lowest unit of singing or speaking. The lowest unit. Unit means like 1 meter, 1 centimeter, 1 millimeter. So lowest meter in voice is sound is syllable. Okay. Sound is syllable. So we enunciate each syllable and our treatment of the melodic and rhythmic cadences in the song. Well, I'll explain this to you. So emotional communication in music is a technique. It exists in the way we use our voice. We explain clearly each syllable and our treatment of the melodic and rhythmic cadences in the song. So we explain clearly the rhythmic and melodic cadences. With Lata, every second oozed emotion. Every second means every moment oozed emotion. It was in the way she sang. The minor shifts in tonality, that is tones, the timbral and the decibel control over a musical phrase and the way the words were enunciated. So what happened in Lata's voice? It oozed emotion. It was the way she sang. The minor shifts in tonality, shifts in tones, like sometimes the tone is high, sometimes the tone is low. Or the timbral means related to, what is timbral? Related to the overtones. Sometimes overtones are required. And decibel control means the loudness control over a musical phrase and the way the words were enunciated, explained. Okay. Moving ahead. Now the last 3 words, resonance, romance and syllable. So we'll come to the second word first, romance. So people feel that, students feel that, or many people feel that romance is always related to love. No. Romance has one more meaning, which is adventure. Adventure. Romance also means in close affinity with nature. In close affinity with nature. With nature. Then romance means to entertain one's thoughts and ideas. So I'm trying to romance the voice of Lata Mangeshkar. Doesn't mean I loving the voice of Lata Mangeshkar. It means entertaining my thoughts and ideas related to Lata Mangeshkar's voice. So adventure is also one meaning of romance. In close affinity with nature is also romance, and romance again as a love form is also romance. So this is you understood. So resonance means the intensification and enriching of a musical tone by supplementary vibration. So what happens is, suppose this X frequency of a sound, then it vibrates, the echoes, the sound echoes, and suddenly frequency of the object it gets attached to also matches the frequency. So resonance happens. So it's kind of multiplication of the frequency, what I have understood from resonance. So if you sing, if you play a musical song in your house with lot of bass, the windows, sometimes windows vibrate with the music. So the sound is amplified. That is resonance basically. Intensified, amplified by enriching of the musical tone by supplementary vibration, means additional vibration. Okay. Sandil Kumar, hi, how are you? Okay. So syllable means what? Syllable is the smallest conceivable expression or unit of something. Conceivable matlab which can be conceived. Conceivable means which can be conceived. So the smallest conceivable expression, or what is conceive? If you conceive something, means you accept that thing. You take that thing into your body or your mind or your heart. So smallest conceivable, that can be accepted. Conceivable means that can be accepted. Conceivable expression or unit of something, that is syllable. So now let's move to the last part of the passage. Okay, reading a line of poetry has little to do with singing. Reading a line of poetry has little to do with the singing it. When I say mohabbat, it's a Urdu word. I am speaking of love. When I sing, it is the essence of love. So when I sing, it is the essence of love. But when I say the word mohabbat, it's basically love, which is an Urdu word. The inner resonance appears because the word is not tightly bound by its own construction. This is a very difficult sentence. The inner resonance means the inner vibration, supplementary vibration appears because the word is not tightly bound by its own construction. Understand this. This word which the author has used as mohabbat, it's not bound by its own construction because I sing with an essence. And the word appears because the word is not bound by its own wordy construction. It spreads its wings, inviting us to romance its every consonant and vowel. Romance means what? Get connected to entertain one's own thoughts and ideas. So it spreads its wing. What spreads its wing? It means the word which the author speaks about, which is the word love, which is mohabbat. It spreads its wing, inviting us to romance its every consonant and vowel. Lata gave musical life to every syllable she sang. Every syllable means the smallest unit itself, the smallest unit. Understood? The meaning of the word was felt even before the word was completed, and then there was the last note. Okay, the meaning of the word was felt even before the word was completed. You have got the meaning, the gist of it. So students, not a very long session today, but I hope you enjoyed. You learnt a lot of words, but I had to tell you the parts of speech of the previous some words. I'll tell you the parts of speech. So mediated. Mediated is a verb. Mediate is a verb. Mediation is a noun. Mediated is an adjective, past participle V3. So when you say mediated, V3 is a past participle verb form only, but it can use an adjective as well. Illusionary, adjective. Mannerisms, noun. Accent, noun. I've also given you examples, right? Frailties, weakness, feebleness, noun. Soothe, verb and an adjective both, because soothed is basically verb for third form of verb, which is past participle. So I'll tell you one thing. Drink is a verb. Drank is past tense, again a verb. Drunk is an adjective and a verb form, because drunken and drunk. He's a drunken man. This man is drunk. These are used as adjectives. So these are past participle form of the verb. So they can be used as adjectives as well. For example, the fallen tree. Fall, fell, fallen. It's a verb form. But the fallen tree. Fallen tree means the tree that has fallen. That becomes an adjective as well. Okay, Sandil, no problem. So, cut through is a phrasal verb. Pleading is like a verb form as well and as an adjective as well. Sequence is a verb. Sequence is a verb. Okay. So, students, I'll not end this session by showing you the thank you slide, but I'll end the session with showing this slide to you. So, this was a tribute to Lata Mangeshkar, one of the most successful singers in the industry, film industry. And I would like everyone to say rest in peace, Lata Mangeshkar. And I hope you enjoyed the session a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. And tomorrow, the coming tomorrow, I'm saying, we'll have a session in which the entire editorial passage will have lot of errors in it. You have to rectify the errors. So don't miss tomorrow's class. Don't miss tomorrow's class. Okay? Well, thank you so much.